Hello, my name is Jennifer Linder, and I'm going to be talking about child trafficking in Gabon, Africa. Gabon is located in Central Africa, and it borders the Atlantic Ocean and sits right at the equator, so it's always hot and humid. It's located between the Republic of Congo and the Equatorial Guinea. The population of Gabon is 1,384,000 people, and 40% of that population is individuals 15 and under. There are 40 different tribal groups in Gabon, and their main language they speak is French. Gabon is very wealthy compared to other parts of Africa, and the reason this is because it's really rich in their oil production and agriculture. The agriculture they produce are coffee beans, sugar. They have cows. They also do a lot of fishing in Gabon. It's very beachy there, but it also is has very dense rainforest. I'm a visual learner, and I love seeing pictures of what people are talking about, so I included these pictures in my PowerPoint just to give you guys a glance of what Gabon looks like land-wise and people-wise. The individuals I have on this slide are one of the tribes in Gabon, and then I also have pictures of the ocean and as well as the rainforest. And Gabon is very animal dense. They have a lot of animals such as hippopotamuses, elephants, cheetahs, alligators. They're very wealthy, and since they're very wealthy, they can help maintain and preserve their land. So now I'm getting into the human trafficking part of Gabon. Gabon is the headquarters for childhood human trafficking. And the reason this is because Gabon is so wealthy, the child traffickers kidnap the children and bring them to Gabon, and they make a profit off of these children working because they don't pay the children anything for the job. There have been more than 25,000 people or children who have been trafficked in Gabon, and half of that 25,000 children are badly beaten, abused, malnourished. What's kind of interesting about this as well is sometimes the parents would give their children up to intermediaries in hopes to have a better life in Gabon. The parents wanted their children to succeed in Gabon, and the intermediaries would convince the parents that would happen when that was not the case. The head trafficking locations were Gabon, Equatorial Guinea, and the Republic of Congo. The females were servants, market vendors, and forced restaurant restraint labor. They are also put up for sexual exploitation and prostitution. And then they're also used as intermediaries to go talk to children in Equatorial Guinea and the Republic of Congo to convince the children that they could have a better life elsewhere when that was not the case. And the males are used for street hawking and forced into labor, and they work a lot in agricultural farms. A couple more pictures for you guys to show how they transport these children after they traffic them, and what happens and how they kidnap them. Often weapons are used, abuse is used, and a lot of these children don't speak the language of Gabon because they're coming from other tribes, and so when they get transferred to Gabon, this is all new to them. They don't know what's going on really, and it's almost a little concerning because they go from, most of them come from a place that is in poverty to worse conditions, being a child trafficking slave. So what's being done to stop human trafficking and child trafficking in Gabon? As of right now, not much. Human trafficking is not illegal in Gabon. In fact, the government officials do not comply with Africa's trafficking laws. In 2010, they did start implementing a law in regards to stopping childhood trafficking, but only 10 traffickers have gotten in trouble for taking children. And through this law, 50 children total have been identified as a trafficked slave, but of the 15, only 14 received help from the Gabon government. Only 14 got shelter, and the government provided safety for them, and the rest did not. I just want to mention, we talked a lot about the Human Rights Declaration, and human trafficking is a huge issue that goes against the Human Rights Declaration. In fact, these children are being used as slaves, and it states in the Human Rights Declaration that no one, not even children, but even adults, should not be used as a slave. They are free. So I'm going to talk a little bit about fighters against human trafficking. I first want to talk about Gabon's labor ministry, UNIFEF, and other organizations. They launched a campaign between 2002 and 2006 to help stop and bring forward children who have been trafficked. And they did this by posting on TVs, getting on the radio, posting billboards, flyers, handouts. Because Gabon, since they are very wealthy, they can see the TV. They do have access to radio. And it did not work as well as I hoped. Not as many children as they were wanting came forward. The Protection Project is working with Gabon to stop human trafficking by educating the individuals on their rights as a citizen. And out of 130,000 children in Gabon, 53 are forced to work, whether they're trafficked or not. And so the Protection Project is going in and educating Gabon on the rights that these children have to be free and go to school and not be forced to work as for cheap money. They are not slaves, and that's what the Protection Project is trying to do, protect these children. The UNIFEF comes into Gabon all the time and works with trying to educate the children, as you can see in this picture. And they try and encourage children to come forward if they have been trafficked, and they provide safety and shelter for these children. The Human Rights Watch is a organization, a hotline number that people in Gabon could call if they suspect human trafficking or child trafficking. And if they suspect it, then these individuals will go out to the location that it is suspected and investigate if it is indeed truly a child trafficking incident or an adult trafficking incident. Suggestions on moving forward and stopping child trafficking in Gabon is educate and train the law officials, especially since they do not comply with the trafficking laws, just educating them on why it's not okay and why it's so bad. Get the whole government on board and get ready to make a change, and encourage other board members to help make a change. And then train law officials on how to help victims or how to spot out if a child is being trafficked and signs to be aware of. And then gendarmerie, I can't pronounce it, I'm sorry, is a French law official that's almost undercover in a way, and they can help identify and kind of target if a child is being trafficked and help that child get to safety. As well as, I think it's important that specific training on how to help victims be relocated with their families, or what the next step is very important, rather than just finding them and not having any further support for them. And then more funding for safe places for these children to go once they are found. And also campaigns to just get Gabon, the whole country, on board with stopping childhood trafficking. If you have any questions, please post them into the discussion board and I'd be happy to get back with you with answers. Thank you very much.